Hello, darlings. My name is Coretta Queen, and I am representing Creative Queen Consulting. Thank you for joining me at the Creative Queen Consulting community, the CQCC, by subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. I am a registered dietitian, a life skills mentor in regards to figuring out your feelings, stress management, and the logical mind, as well as a spiritual teacher. My intent of this channel is to provide you with encouragement and useful ways to grow in 4 areas: body, spirit, emotions, and mind. So thank you for joining me today. I woke up this morning, fall is in the air, it's cool, it's crisp, it's relaxing, it's time to maybe change up our fashions a little bit, ladies, pull out some little sweaters and sweater dresses, and may have to close our toes in a little bit where, it's getting a little chilly, and maybe pull out some boots and maybe pull out some blankets and some throws and start thinking about getting a little more cuddly and booed up. And that's when I thought about I like to slow my pace a little bit and keep my music playing with you and just have a little chat about relationships and how they're a combination of love, logic, and lust. And all 3 of them are very intertwined, I have found in my experiences in relationships. I have been a wife for over a decade, so I've lived that life. I have gone out on dates and dated, so I've lived that life. I've even had 1 or 2 entanglements, if you want to say it that way. So I've lived my life. And I've experienced that. And now I'm settled down. But in my years of having relationships, I have discovered a few things that most people, especially maybe women, we approach a relationship from the perspective of love. And love is an emotion. It's a feeling. It's falling in love. It feels so happy. You get butterflies. It's so exciting to be in love. But honey, that ain't real. It ain't gonna last the same way. It's a fantasy. The honeymoon stage of a relationship feels great, but it's short-lived. It could be anywhere from 1 month to 1 year. And relationships go through different stages. So once you come out of that honeymoon stage, there is the power struggle stage waiting for you, where both wills are trying to determine who's dominant, especially among alphas. Then there's the complacency, the laid-back phase where you're used to each other, maybe taking each other for granted. And so once you go through those phases, you then start to say everything feels different. And you start to wonder, are you going to be able to sustain this relationship? Are you going to be able to take it on for another 5, 10, 15, 25 years? Will it survive? Will it be able to evolve? And sometimes by the time it's time for you to make this decision, there's children involved and assets. And so it can get very emotional, dramatic, and sometimes messy. And I respect that some of you may be romantics and the fantasy of it all. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to feel love and want romance. But I just encourage you, don't get caught up. Pull it back because it's a temporary phase. And it evolves and it changes. And we'll talk more about how that honeymoon phase of emotions can evolve. I encourage you to put that love, that strong emotion of love, into your relationship with the spirit, the power that you define as greater than you. Put a great deal of love into that relationship spiritually. That love into yourself, taking care of yourself, enjoying yourself, having self-esteem, because that's the foundation of your life, your relationship with the power greater than you and yourself. They're the ones who are with you forever. And once you build a strong foundation with that, then you can give more of yourself. Put that love into developing your career, education, your family, your children, charity, outreach, your pets. Just don't have such a strong focus on romantic love because it's so changing. We'll talk more about that. Sometimes people lead a relationship from the perspective of lust. Now, lust deals with the body, passion, physical chemistry, intimacy, sex. That feels great too, but in time, that will diminish. It changes. But how many of us have been taught to look at a potential relationship, current relationship, through the eyes of the logical mind, the GPS, as we've talked about before, that gets set on a goal and wanting to achieve it? How many of us bring that goal-oriented, logical mindset into a relationship? And I have found that this is the best foundation for assessing a relationship's potential and a way that it can grow. Love and lust are involved, but not the priority. So how do you look at love from a logical standpoint? Finances. Are you both financially compatible? You don't want to just ask people what kind of job you got, how much money you make. But you do want to know that both of your finances will be protected and there's room for growth so that there's not a lot of strain on one or the other person. So looking at finances is important. Having the ability to communicate. That means listen, understand, try to come to some kind of compromise. Maybe you're just going to agree to disagree. But that communication piece is huge. It's going to keep down a whole lot of arguments and help you get through the power struggle stage a lot easier. Is there the possibility for recreation in common? Do you have things that you like together? Is it watching sports, playing golf, playing tennis, working in the yard? Do you both like collecting the same things? Are you part of the same organized religion? There needs to be some kind of recreation there for enjoyment so that you can enjoy your time together. And that leads into building a friendship where you do like to hang out and talk about life, and or just sometimes not talk at all. Just be in the room and chilling and be comfortable. That's friendship. That's logical to look at it that way. Is there a vision or a goal that can be a part of this relationship? Something that you both can work on together, whether it's starting a business or having a hobby or starting a family or purchasing a home. And then you have your goals that you'll have as individuals as well as possibly a couple. And can you bring them together? Can you blend them? And all of this should be considered with, in my experience, the logical mind. So I would weight logic close to about 60% when it comes to assessing a relationship for potential as well as where it's at. My first marriage was based off logic. I was very young, but I was raised by older parents, and so a lot of my upbringing was very logical and spiritual. There wasn't a lot of emotion involved. So when we met and he asked me to marry him, I looked at it logically as a young age. I looked at the finances. Okay, he's in a very stable career, not going to be a rich man, but that's okay. I know he can hold a job. I think he looked at me and said, okay, she's got education. She'll be able to work as well. So we looked at it that way. He was a bit more frugal than I am, which was kind of a red flag. But I said, okay, I can live with that because at least I know he's not going to be going out spending a whole bunch of money willy-nilly and putting us in a bunch of debt. So in that sense, how we spent recreationally, we were compatible. So once again, we had those things in common. And we shared the same organized religion. And so all of that we had in common. We both wanted to have a child. We both wanted to stay in Charlotte. So on paper, it just seemed like it was the right relationship for me at that time. But maybe it was a little too weighted in logic because I didn't have the same level of physical attraction and passion. And unfortunately, we never took the time to really develop a friendship and a strong feeling. Yes, we grew in fondness of each other over the years, there's no question. But as the years passed, because there wasn't a good friendship there, there was no recreation, there wasn't strong enough physical chemistry, it started to go downhill. And with him being so much older than me, I had to make a decision at that time. So even though there was a good logical foundation to my first marriage, it was too heavily weighted. So it did need a little bit of emotion and friendship, as well as a little bit of passion. I'm going to stop here, and we're going to pick up where we left off. It's going to be part 2 of relationships, love, logic, and lust. I don't want to run over my time too much, so we're going to do a part 2. But I do hope that me sharing this with you has been an encouragement, has kind of made you think a little bit differently about relationships. And we're going to finish up this topic in the next episode. If you would like to make a gift of love or a donation to me, it is so, so appreciated and will be such a wonderful blessing. My information for my Cash App is in the description box below. Feel free to set up a consult with me at any time regarding nutrition, mentoring, or spiritual teaching. Or if you have a question, my email is queenchaff@yahoo.com. That's below. If you would like to purchase my book, Mind Your Menu with Memoirs, to just get some more health information, see some of my photography, my poetry, learn about the legacy of my family, that would be appreciated. Also, the link below is for my dance and singing YouTube channel, which could provide you with some cheerful entertainment. I do appreciate you taking the time to listen and learn with me, and I look forward to our next session at Creative Queen Consulting. By faith, with logical actions, and managing your emotions, and staying healthy, thankful, and peaceful with financial sufficiency. This is my desire for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.